hop it on here real quick. I'm going to try and make this one short. We'll get into it. And, yeah. Got quite a bit to talk about, too, guys. There's some stuff going on. You know, CMEs, some more solar flares. We're going to take a look at all that. So, if you guys want to hang out, you can. Thanks to everybody that's in there. E-Rock, I see you're in there. Tab, you're in there. Mark, Archangel, third in line, E-Rock, and Arizona Ravens in here. Modding for me. Love it. Love it. Love it. Kathy. Watchman Warrior 777. Jamie. David. In case anybody hadn't heard yet, I haven't went through my emails yet. I just haven't had time. So just give me a few to go get through that, guys, and I will respond to you guys that did email me. But for right now, I haven't had time to go check them out yet. So that's what we'll be talking about that a little bit too. So let me, you know what? There's one thing I forgot to pull up here real quick. Let's pull it up and take a look at it first. Yeah, okay. I kind of figured this is what we was going to see. Guys, if you could, mods, please take care of the chat for me. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Alright. Obviously, guys, there's some spiking going on right there. Not a whole lot. But, you know, there is. This back here on the 18th, it was a pretty decently long one. Over 12 hours. Then this one here was pretty intense. Now, I'm looking at this one, and I'm wondering if it had something to do with the quake. Or not helped with the quake, but if it was caused by that quake. Or caused by the same thing that kind of triggered the quake. There's a whole lot of different ideas and stuff on what's going on here. But as we were talking yesterday, there could be a complete plate shift. Which is why the helioplots, the seismographs, just rung all across the whole planet at the same time. Well, roughly the same time. And some of them are still ringing. So we're going to go take a look at those two here in just a few minutes. But before we do, like I said, guys, we got this, and that is what it is. If you're getting ringing in your ears, I mean, it's a substantial spike. Now, that happened on the 20th at about 1 UTC. So that would mean, you know, right at the change of the day, UTC time. The earthquake happened at 2100 back here. Okay? So it would be feasible, in my eyes, that could actually happen. That this could be part of why we're seeing that little bit of a spike. Plus, there was some stuff going on shortly before. So, was it starting to rumble then? Was it starting, or is what was causing this to change actually helped cause the earthquake? Again, what came first, the chicken or the egg? That's kind of what we're looking at there. We may never know. You know, at this point, does it really matter? Well, it only matters in the sense that, you know, we might be able to learn from it. You know, again, that one's said and done. So let's go ahead and take a look at this first, because I know that's what people want to see here real quick. They did, guys. This is one of the few times you're going to see USGS actually raise that. They had it at a 7.6. I mean a 7.5. Now they got it at a 7.6. That never hardly ever happens. I mean, these guys, they usually knock it down at least 2 or 3 points. And when we're talking about big quakes like that, 2 or 3 points is really significant. You know, if this was a 2.5 going to a 2.6, that wouldn't be hardly any, you know, well, let's just do it this way. If it was a 2.5 going to a 3, that wouldn't be that big of a difference. But say we're talking about a 7.5 to an 8, which is a 0.5 difference from, is the same I just gave you, is a way bigger deal. As these quake intensity numbers go up, they exponentially go up. In other words, even though it's only going up a tenth, the effects we're seeing are so much greater. And that's just what we see. Now, guys, something else. Look, this thing is not done. It has not stopped. This thing, I mean, there's so many quakes right underneath this thing. It's ridiculous. And something else before we move forward here. Yesterday, guys, remember I was showing you guys the pager button over here? It was green, remember? And that's good when it's green. Well, when it's yellow, it's not so good. So we'll take a look at it. And they've changed it. Now, I don't think that anybody has passed away from this, and I don't really think anybody's going to. I haven't heard anything like that yet. But what changed was the estimated economic loss. If you guys remember, this thing was like way high, like 100%. It wasn't gonna do any kind of damage, and that was because it was offshore, wasn't really on land, right, or a big section of it. But now they're saying that it did do some damage. Now that could have been from like, I know there was a small tsunami, nothing was huge, but that is what it is. Now, this is interesting, too, guys. This is all on USGS. You guys can access this, too, okay? But here's where the earthquake was, and that, obviously they circled this out, and they changed the intensity of what we're seeing here. But, you know, if you scroll down here, it actually will give you population. Okay? So, 27,000 people felt a weak vibration, okay, or shaking. You get 1,000 light. Then you got 0 on moderate and strong. And then we get the very strong. And we get the 2,000. So that's what we're talking about there. But looks like at Sand Point was the biggest, where the, the most of this was felt, when somebody actually felt it moving. But you can also go down through here again, like I said. You can see where these things are. And, we can zoom in here. So, this is a really good place to go to kind of get an idea of what's going on. And they did change this. So, there has been some damage. Or they wouldn't have changed that. Okay. Now, the helio plots. Let's just go ahead and look at them real quick. Now, I know yesterday when Ricky was on here with us, she was telling, this whole thing, I probably wouldn't even have looked at it. But because she suggested it, I did. And I'm glad she did, because I guess this is kind of unprecedented, what we're seeing. I mean, every single one of them reacted. Okay, this is a global type of situation. This isn't something that was just, one area. She was also talking about the VLF, very low frequency. That's a different thing. And I guess that when, the way I understand it, with very low frequency, that actually points to a complete plate shift. Alright? Not just like a isolated area that has slipped. Especially when this is going global. And she said this was unprecedented. To see an event like this with the seismos doing all this all at once. With the very low frequency part of it involved there. Okay? So, basically, there's had a major plate shift, guys, is what that's what everybody's kind of concluding at this point. So what could cause something like that, right? Well, I mean, it is a natural occurrence sometimes, guys. A lot of the time. Probably the majority of the time. But there's other options, too. And I don't necessarily think about, what I'm getting ready to show you. I don't necessarily think this is what could have did anything here. I just found it interesting that this happened at the same time that this quake went off. Alright? Or close to it. I'm not sure exactly when this happened, as far as the actual event. Let me go back. Where did I go? Here. Okay? Now, I'm not sure if you guys... I'm going to bring the chat up on this one real quick, because I'm sure people are going to want to say something about this one. NORAD scrambled some jets yesterday, and they intercepted a couple Russian bombers. Where at? Alaska. So it makes you wonder. Okay? I'm not saying that if anything fell out of them planes, if you guys know what I'm saying. But I'm looking at this, and then when you get a, yeah, true. Yeah, you're right. They do. They really do. But when they happen roughly around the same time as a larger earthquake, it does kind of cause you to, you know, what's DEM? What's that stand for? Oh, yeah, I don't know what ACW. What's that stand for? DIM. Yeah, exactly, Kathy. Things that make you go, huh? That's kind of. Oh, I got you. I'm with you. Yeah. What he said? You caught location. He said Desh found the DEM location is okay. Yeah, we'll check that out a little bit later. All right. Oh, I see. Never mind. I'm not. Yeah. Hey, you did good there by not putting that W in there, because I would have said it. I know what you guys are saying now. Yeah. Yeah. We've been looking into that for quite a while now. But anyway, I just thought this was interesting. I'm not saying that this has had anything at all to do with it. I just wanted to point this out because it did happen at the exact same time, or roughly around the same time that the earthquake went off. Okay? So you just have to wonder. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So we will go on from here. Now, guys, we had a this is I'm gonna put the chat back away, guys. Yeah, you're right. That's one word. That's one word we wouldn't say. Not here, because if you do, you might as well just you should just delete your video because it's going to get buried. You know, whatever the reason you're doing videos, like myself, I don't do it for monetary reasons, but other people do, obviously. But I don't. But I still don't say those words because I still, you know, I'm not going to come out here and try to do videos if I don't think anybody's going to listen. You know, it'd be ridiculous. So that's kind of what I'm saying. So yeah, I do try to stay away from certain keywords, and that's one of them. So, all right. Yeah, mods, please take care of that chat for me. I know I say that a lot, but I really appreciate what you guys do. So, okay. Now, guys, we can see that we have flares upon flares upon flares. At least X-rays, okay? And when we get a spike like that, that is a flare typically. So that happened, you know, right around, let's see here, 3, 6, 9, 12, a little bit after noon, UTC, which would be about 8 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time, okay? You know, I don't know that it did much, but we did see some stuff happen on some of the satellites, and we're going to get into that in just a second. But we'll go through this real quick first. The geomagnetic activity did come up some. Okay? I forgot to show you that. Now, it came up to here, and then it kind of went back down. It's kind of doing its little thing, right? Well, the Enlil model shows exactly this. So, that's most likely that, you know, this one's correct. This model here. You see that little hump right there? They did show this. Okay, even out before it happened. We're right here in time. Okay, so this is in the past, and that's, you know, they're able to know for sure that's what happened. But they did predict this one, so good on them for that one. But this, okay, you're seeing a steady increase throughout the next, because again, we're right here. They're saying it's going to be kind of a, we're going to increase a little bit, get around 450, kind of hang right there for a day or two, day and a half, and then kind of start spiking back up. Why? Well, we are seeing more coronal holes. That's probably why this model is saying that. You know, it takes 3 to 5 days for these things to get here. Now, ACE data. This is, I'm not sure, I don't think this, see this big block of missing data? I don't think that's a line of sight issue with the satellite. That's just way too long. And then it did it again. And then it does it again on the end. So we're missing a lot of data here. Now let me point something out. Again. What time did that happen yesterday with that earthquake? 2100. Look, do you see these little data points right here? Okay, the last data point it got was right around 2100. And then, oh my, now we don't get any data at all for space weather for 2, 4, 6, 8 hours. Why? You ever wonder that? So, you know, what was going on here with space weather right when that earthquake popped off? Again, like Kathy said earlier, things that make you go, what's that about? It's, now we got 2, 3, 4 different kinds of things coming together, thinking that why would that happen? Now I'm not saying that we can't have a technical issue or anything like that, but what I am saying, it is kind of strange, and I think anybody and everybody that has any kind of skepticism at all would agree to that. If they don't, they're probably being dishonest. That's got to make you wonder. And again, I'm not saying that's exactly what caused it, because I can't say that. I don't know for sure. Now, guys, I've been showing you guys this too, right? Now, here's that big sunspot. We're going to go back to this over on ISWA. But here are some of those coronal holes. We are getting ready here on, in the next day or two. They're predicting us to get up into a G level 1 storm, geomagnetic storm, because of this northern coronal hole that we connected to. Okay? So here in the next day or two, we're going to start seeing an uptick in our geomagnetic activity. Now, this right here, look at this. Okay? I showed you guys this a little bit the other day, but I want to point something out here. Okay, it's days in a row now. That should not still be there. Now listen to me here, okay? The sun's rotating from left to right at a certain speed, right? Why is this anomaly staying right there? So what I'm going to do is we are going to... I don't know if we can go back into archive on this or not. If I can't, I'm just going to take you back and show you my videos. I'll probably just do that real quick, because I can just do that to you, show you guys that real quick. Hang in there for just a second, okay? So I do want to show that to you because I think it's substantial. I think we need to look at it. Hey, Hilly, Arizona, everybody else in there, Casey, Sean, Shine, Sherry. Alright. Come on. My gosh. Stupid computer. I swear. Sometimes these things are awesome. Sometimes they suck. Man. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to yesterday. Right here. Okay, I got it muted. I'm going to pause it. Trying to get where I showed. There it was. Sorry guys, I'm not going to do this for the rest of the days here. This would just take too long to do, and I don't want to do that to you. Okay, look. You see this? That is staying there. It's been there for almost a week. That should not be happening. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here in a few days. I'm going to go back here after I get off here. I don't want to waste your guys' time. So I'll go back and I'm going to take some screenshots and show you guys in my next video that particular anomaly has been there for a week. It should not stay in the same spot, guys. This is the corona of the sun. We should not be seeing a particular anomaly staying in the same spot. It shouldn't be there. So, you know, we're going to try to figure out what's going on with that. But given the fact that let's go back here. Given the fact that this thing now, look at it, okay? If you guys, I'm going to zoom in again too real quick so you guys can see it. Right? You can almost see a clear separation right here. Almost like that thing, whatever's there, or whatever's causing that, is hanging out right there. It's, guys, it looks spherical. I don't know what else to say. And I don't want to claim it's anything, but I have a hard time thinking that isn't something we should be looking at, because it, like I said, it's been there for a week. That should not happen. And there should not be like clear separation there either. So, you know, it is moving and fluctuating like we would see it move. But why is it taking that shape? Why is it staying right there? It's odd. Yeah. And again, guys, there's no filter on this. This is completely raw. You guys seen what I just did. Yeah. That thing should have already rotated onto the front side, and we shouldn't even be looking at that. That's all I'm saying. So we'll move on. Okay. So I'm going to put the chat back away. Back off. Let's get that out of there. Okay, let me update this real quick too. That one's updated. Look up here, guys. See how big that northern corona hole is now? How it's stretching down. Remember, the Earth kind of sits just to the south of the equator of the sun. So we do connect. It doesn't have to be right on top of us or right in front of us for us to connect to it. That's a misconception. All right? That doesn't have to happen. We can be close to it and still connect to it magnetically. All right? That's what I'm talking about. So as we go through these, we'll take a look at the purple one first. Now, let's zoom in here. And again, you're going to start seeing stuff on here that, yeah. I thought I updated that one. I know I did. Never mind. Okay, I think I showed you guys this one yesterday. I could be wrong. No, that's the one I showed you guys yesterday. You see that right there? That was a pretty significant, pop on the sun. So maybe that's what the model's seeing. I don't know. But that is definitely something that could cause us some solar weather. Space weather. It amazes me what the sun can actually do. It really does. I'm fascinated by it. Anyway, we'll keep moving here. Okay, I think that was the flare. Yep. Watch right here. I'm going to zoom in some more. Watch right in here. Guess I'll zoom out a little bit. See if I can't get it all on the screen. So again, yeah, watch right here. See that? That's a flare. See how it gets real bright right here, and then you kind of see it spread out this direction? Now, if we didn't know what we were looking at there, it would just look like a flash on a camera. But that's a flare. That's why we've seen that on space weather, okay? So, with that being said, let's see if we can't catch it on this one. Yep, did you see that? Again, watch right in here. So that's that flare. So we know where the flare came from, and we know it was facing right at us. So that definitely, yeah, that's most definitely something that happened. Yep, it's there too. See it? Now it looks like to be like a high B class flare. Let's go down on top of that and see if we can't see an X. Usually you see an X pattern. It tried to, but it didn't. It didn't quite make it. But yeah. So yeah. There's your flare. It's not that big of a deal though, guys, okay? It's not a real powerful one. Wow, see that? Huh, check out here. There's another one. Huh. That looks to be like it's a sunspot now. Yeah, guys, I mean, the sun's waking up. There's no doubt about it. No doubt in my mind whatsoever. Another active area rotated in, guys, okay? Right there. We're going to have to keep our eye on that one, too. But remember that one spot out here. I'll go back to it, and I'll bring it to you in my next video. I'll take some screenshots. I thought I had them, but I didn't. That little anomaly that's out there, it shouldn't really be there. It's been there for over a week. Oh, right at a week, I think. About 7 days. So, here's the magnetopause models. We will take a look at these because these are probably going to react pretty good right now. Given the fact that we had that increased solar wind. Let's pause them. Yeah, guys, I mean, that's some good activity. Looks like it tried to even itself back out, though, which is good. Now, I have to say, guys, the Earth is fending this thing off just fine. Okay? You know, we're not seeing anything get inside, way inside to our surface. You know? The Earth is doing its job. Magnetic field is, even though it's weaker, it's still, it's getting the majority of it away from us. It's shielding us pretty good. So, now on the poles, remember on the poles, the energy comes in a lot easier and a lot more of it. So keep that in mind. That's just typical conditions. Nothing I didn't expect to see here. I mean, that's just something that this is kind of what we would expect with an uptick in solar wind and then kind of a back down. It's pretty normal. Here's the magnetopause models, the newer ones. And again, they're just going to do a little reaction here. When we're getting hit with solar wind, they do react. That's just what happens. Our magnetopause and our shields has to react to protect us. So it's nothing extreme. Not that I've seen. Now the density is going to look a little bit more extreme just because of the color difference here. But all you're seeing here is density. That's what this thing's looking at. The denseness of the material that's there. That doesn't always compute to like high energy. So you can clearly see the position of our bow shock right here, because the reason why is because the ones on this side of the bow shock and the ones on this side of the bow shock have two different densities. Now there's times we get on here and that won't be there. It'll look like it's gone. It never goes away. All it means is that the particles that are on this side and this side of the bow shock are roughly the same density. So it can't show you a line. That's, and I talked about this a little while back. There was somebody out there saying that the bow shock went down and, oh gosh, Earth shields are down, this, that, and the other, what's going on? Guys, that never happened. Okay? It just didn't happen. And I've explained this before, and the simple, short explanation is, what's it take to have a bow shock? It takes solar wind and a magnetic field. Because the bow shock is simply the point where the solar wind meets our magnetic field. Okay, so if you think about that logically a little bit and you run it through your mind, what has to happen for the bow shock not to be there? One or the other or both would have to go away. Solar wind or our magnetic field. And we would not be having this discussion if either one of those were not there. We would all be dead. That simple. So, I hate to put it out there like that, but that is exactly what it is. So when somebody tells you the bow shock is down or shields are down, oh my gosh, question what you're listening to, okay? So, this here, pressure. Just a little bit of bouncing around, guys. I mean, not a whole lot, so. Sorry, I went off on a little rant there, guys. That just bothers me when somebody goes out there and says something that is so significant that could really, that would mean that all of us would be dead. It bothers me. It really does. So, sorry about that. I should have not. I guess I shouldn't have got so upset there. And I know it didn't sound like I was upset, but believe it or not, that does make me mad. It just really irritates me. Hey, Mark, what's up, buddy? I seen you in there. Sid, what's up? Sorry, I went off on a little rant there, guys. That just bothers me when somebody goes out there and says something that is so significant that could really, that would mean that all of us would be dead. And everybody else is in there. All right, I try to say hi to you guys. So, yeah, let me get into the info here. Let's go back to this real quick. All right. Australian model. You're seeing some bouncing around, not a whole lot. Okay. Now, I want to point out something here too, guys. You know, I made the comment that, you know, we look at this one's from a different agency, Australia, over in Australia, and it is. But there's something called Five Eyes, and I'm not going to go into what that actually is, but it's 5 different countries. They share. They have it's a troll organization. Okay, is what it is. And I should have mentioned that Australia is actually one of those countries along with the United States. So it wouldn't be completely out of the question for these two models to be working with each other. And I have to say that. But I trust this model really a lot because it seems to be a lot more simplistic. It seems to be not messed with as much. All that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to make sure that all that information was out there so you guys could hear it. I forgot to mention that. But I do trust this one a lot more than I trust, well, frankly, our own. So just keep in mind, you know, those 5 countries, whenever they do work together, okay? And what's the reason they do that for? Is because they can't prosecute. If there's somebody outside of our country that's quote-unquote trolling us, it's hard to prosecute those people because of international law. And that's why I say this. So whenever we start getting, you know, smacked across the face with those kinds of trolls or whatever, I typically just ignore it. They can come at me all they want, I don't care. But, yeah. But I like to mention that because it does kind of point to, you know, another thing we should actually look at when we're looking at information from models. Okay. Now I know you guys are probably freak. I'm gonna leave the chat up on this one. You guys probably freak out over this one. I have to say something straight up on this one. I have never seen this happen. Not like this. Okay? What do I think caused it? I don't have a good answer for you guys. Come on, Wage. What? What do you want? Russ, what's up? What you got for me, man? Hit you. Okay. Anyway, there you go, guys. Look at that thing. Ain't that crazy? I seriously, I've been looking at this thing for years. Now, I've seen it, like, have streaks going across. And let me say this, too. Mike and Cindy brought to my attention a picture on one of these coronagraphs that was a lot lighter than this, and it looked like meteors or cosmic rays or something flying across there. And I even talked about it a little bit, and Mike put it on his channel too. Mike and Cindy did, over Evolutionary Energy Arts. Now, it's kind of odd that this happened like 2 days later. But I want to show you guys something else too, okay? This is LASCO C2, right? The satellite sits right, it's our viewpoint from Earth. But check this out. Now remember, this one not only showed up at 512. So, what was Stereo A doing? Which is millions of miles away at roughly the same time. That's what Stereo A was doing. Okay? So why does that matter? They both went, Yeah, Shine, that anomaly we seen was on a satellite, not based on Earth, so CERN wouldn't cause that. What we're seeing here is, we got two satellites million miles away from each other. I'm talking like 30 or 40 million miles away. Might even be like 45, I think. So now we got two satellites having a really crazy looking anomaly. Now, I've seen this one before, okay? But what I think's happening here is it could have been, a flash from the sun. It's probably what it was. It could have even been a flare. Now, the timestamp here says this happened before that other solar flare I just showed you guys, right? So let's go back here for a second. I'm going to take you guys up here. Now, remember, you guys see this right here? Let's go back here for a second. This is on the 19th at 4 UTC. The one over on Alaskan C2, this one, sorry, next day. So we're seeing it happen right around the time of that flare is my point. Okay? So let me stop it right about there. Okay? So I do think that this could have been another flare, or it could have been just I don't think it's a glitch. Okay? Well, it's obviously a glitch, but what caused the glitch is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is something hit both of these satellites at the same time, and they reacted at roughly the same time. And it was high energy. Okay? It could have been some sort of a cosmic ray burst from outside our solar system. It could have been the sun doing something that we just didn't see. It could have been a lot of things. But obviously, if you go outside and we look up, and this is what we're going to see, we probably wouldn't be talking right now. Okay? So we know that this isn't like thousands upon thousands of meteors getting ready to smack into our planet. Okay? Not to mention that the very next capture, it's gone. Right? But I also want to show you this. Okay, we get that big flash of light. Now, this is what makes me think maybe something shot through our solar system. This. So let me zoom in. Now, it goes from small to big. That's the first thing that you look at. Why? Because it shows depth. It shows that it's in motion, and it shows that it's not a computer glitch. Because if it's a glitch or something on the lens, it's going to be the same size on this side as it is on this side. It's not going to taper down like a comet would, or a asteroid, or a rock, or whatever is flying through space, right? So this is a clear tail coming off of this. It's brighter, 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 and it kind of gets dull, right? So something flew through our solar system right here. And it happened at the same time of both of those things. This thing is booking, guys. Look, let me show you. Let me back off a little bit. I'll go to the next capture. It's gone. Now, it's going to show up again over here because that's a ghosting. All right? If I back up, there's the first, right? There's the next one. Now, you're going to see the same two images we just seen. That and that over here. We're going to see the same two images back to back again that are the exact opposite. Watch. There. That's a ghosting is what that is. So the second set of those over here, not to mention that over here it didn't show it because it only does it over here on this particular setup. All right. So all that stuff is kind of crazy. Now I think, what I'm saying is I think whatever this is what caused that glitch. And I think it was moving in such a direction that it actually went in front of stereo A also. So what are the relationships between the two positions? Right here. Here's the Earth. Here's stereo A. So we seen it coming in this way. We don't really know the exact direction because we were looking at a two-dimensional model and we only had one point of view to look at for direction. So there's no way I can give you an exact, hey, it's moving this way. It's impossible. Without more data. There's no way. But it looks, what I'm saying is it looks as though it might have went this way. Kind of shot this way in between us and the sun, and then consequently between stereo A and the sun, and it was putting off enough light that it caused that to happen. And guys, that thing was moving fast for it to be on there and then not. I mean, it's yeah, that shouldn't be happening. It's moving fast. That's all I'm saying. It's amazing it even caught that second one. If we've seen a glitch like I showed you guys on this thing, let me go back to it. We never ever get to see what causes that stuff. Hardly ever. And this is what we get. So I really do think that this is what caused that glitch. My opinion, but there's the observations you guys do with what you want to with it. Would have to be quite massive. Casey, yeah, probably decent size, but again, let me say this. We don't know how far away this was from the satellite. Okay? Now this is our view, right? I don't think it was part of the meteor shower because that stuff hangs around. It's not moving, outside of our planet. It's actually, that debris tail is orbiting the sun. It's stuck in that area of space. So this came from somewhere else. And if it's real close to the satellite, that would mean that it's not that big. The further away from the satellite it gets would make this thing bigger and bigger and bigger. So, I can't give you a size. I wish I could, but my opinion, though, was traveling in a direction that actually went in front of Soho, which is our view, and then stereo A. Just my opinion, though. Geoelectric field model real quick here. You're going to see a little bit of movement here. It's not going to be, extensive or anything like that. Nothing real big. I didn't see any kind of humongous bursts or anything like that. But that is an uptick. That is some weather there, okay? It's not nothing that anyway. Here's the CME tracker, and this really makes me mad. Why does it make me mad? Because this thing still hasn't updated since the 18th. We've had CME since then. It should have already updated. We had solar flares that had CMEs with it, is what I'm saying. And this thing didn't update for any of it. Yeah, that makes me mad when that crap happens. It looks as though we might have a tropical storm out here. What's its name? I forget. Epsilon. I don't know what it. I don't think it's forecasted to come near us. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is. Quick glance at the tropics. Let's go down through here, see if we can figure something else out. Yeah, I seen a track for that. I don't think it's coming. It's not going to make it to the shore. Yeah, here it is. See? No, I just missed it. Where'd it go? Where'd you go, man? Where'd you go? It's it right here. So it's going to go out here. There's Bermuda. It may give Bermuda some rain unless it changes path. But it's going to, you know, it is staying a hurricane up there pretty far north. I'll say that. That's colder water up there, guys. You know, we had one a year or two ago that actually went and made it all the way over to UK. You guys probably remember that one. All right, this here. This is pretty cool. Now, yeah, they're talking about that too. Look, a G1 class geomagnetic storm, October 22nd is when they're predicting it here in the next couple days. Here's that sunspot. But here's some footage of the fireballs and the meteor shower. Okay? You know, again, it peaks on the 20th, which is what, today? You see how it's kind of spiraling right there? We'll watch it for a second. See that? It's pretty cool, isn't it? But with all this happening, we got this now. Okay? 44 fireballs. Now, we kind of figured that was going to happen. Just saying. Because, you know, obviously during a meteor shower. But then you got, you know, near-Earth objects that we've been talking about. 0.1 on the 21st. Now, I just showed you guys that glitch and everything over there, right? And I showed you that there was stuff flying in front of it. Could it be one of these things? Who knows? I don't know. Again, it would have to be moving fast. I know that. And I guess, you know, I guess it could have been one like right here. 17.3 kilometers per second. That's moving pretty good, guys. Okay? But yeah. I don't see anything like a major uptick or of any additions here to this near-Earth object graph. So yeah. There's that spike I showed you guys already on the Schumann. So we're going to go back to here for 1 second, and then I'm going to end this live stream. Here's the helioplots, okay? Hey, Christine. Hey, do me a favor. Drop your email in there again. I want to send you a video. Please. I thought I had your email. For some reason, I can't find it. Or if you just want to email me, if you don't want to put your email out there for everybody, you know, it's a privacy thing, I get it. But anyway, we got this helioplot stuff, and guys, I mean, especially going off of what Ricky was talking about. The very low frequency part of it is pointing to a complete, like, plate shift. Not just some simple little slipping. We're talking about a complete plate shift. And we all know that the magma has been moving pretty good underneath everything right now. You know, that's, you know, we think that some of the hot spots are actually caused by that. And, you know, from the DEM, as CW called it earlier. But yeah. That's what we'll call him. That's a good name for him, man. So, I think it's a little bit of both. Plate shift, it's already happening, D. You know, guys, I think we have to understand that I don't think that the plates stay completely stationary all the time. I think they're kind of constantly, you know, if you think about it, if you guys ever heard of a floating floor, like when you're putting down hardwood, like a floating hardwood floor in your kitchen or your living room or whatever, it's kind of the same for our plates. We got magma underneath there. So that's kind of what's going on. It's not like affixed to any kind of part of the earth. It's floating. So, yeah. But I wanted to show you guys this because this was planet wide. This was global. Every one of these things ringed out. I mean, and it ringed out big. It was even worse than this yesterday, guys, if you remember. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. That's all. So whatever happened affected the whole planet. Then we had the buoys going off. Dutch was talking about that. A whole lot of stuff. Yes, when we get an earthquake outside of out there in the ocean somewhere, that is one of the main concerns. Needs shoe molding. That's awesome. Good one, Billy. That's I tell you what, that's only people that's ever done that kind of work before would even know what that is, probably, Hilly. That's something that you use when you're putting down floors. Some people call it base molding or a kick plate. So yeah, good one. It's actually a good way to explain it. If you're talking about stuff like this, I do when I talk about stuff like this, I try to find something that we're all familiar with. That way people can kind of understand it, even if they know nothing about space weather at all, or earthquakes like what we're talking about right now. At least they have a basic understanding of what's actually going on. Obviously, I can't take you into any kind of, good technical explanation on this either. But, yeah, swarming, vintage, that's definitely what's going on here. But it's an after swarm. We had the big one here. It actually ended up being a 7.6. They upticked it from a 7.5, which very seldom does that happen. So I'm going to pan out. We're going to look at everything else that's going on right now, too. All right, as far as earthquakes real quick, and then we're going to get off here. So let me pan out just a little bit more. Well, let's go back in here. Now I'm going to change my settings. I want you guys to watch this, okay? Right now I got it on 1 day, magnitude 2.5 and above. Now a lot of people would get on here because this is the default setting, right? Why is that the default setting? Because this is what they want you to look at first. Let me explain. Hey Axe, what's up? Wouldn't it make sense to have all magnitudes before the 2.5? Or am I wrong there? That's just how I think, though. So, if I click this, look what happens. See that? Obviously, we know there are going to be more, but the number of more is substantial, right? So we go from that to that. So there's a reason they do that, guys. Nothing's done by coincidence here. I promise you that. So if we look at those, then we're looking at one here in Tennessee. We're looking at, that was probably that was Ridgely, Tennessee. I showed you guys that one yesterday. The ones here in Oklahoma, that's probably fracking. It's a lot of times that's what's going on there. We could go in a little bit deeper. These here are actually explosions. Probably at some rock quarries or something. Let's click on one of them. Yeah, quarry blast. See? If you ever get over here and you see like a diamond shape, that means it's an explosion of some sort. Another quarry blast. So yeah, they were blasting at the quarries today. So, and then you got, like I said, you got fracking operations, you got all that kind of stuff that can cause earthquakes. Now, something that we need to pay attention to right now, at least in my opinion, is the fact that now not only we're swarming up here in Alaska where that earthquake was, but this swarm here seems to be getting a little bit more active. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. The hot spots and stuff that's been going on. I never did pull up the DuPage site, did I? We could take a quick look at that, but I don't, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this one today. So what we'll do, go here. I'll tell you what, let's go up here and look at the Alaska regions. Because remember I was showing you guys the, let's go regional. Well, we'll go here. And I was showing you guys kind of those weird looking, like, energy wave looking cloud formations we were seeing. There's been a lot of good explanation for that. So I'm not sure if it's anything we should be concerned about at all. You know, the earthquake itself could cause some of it, I guess, is what I was told. Yeah, it's just, you know, is what it is. I'm not seeing a whole lot there today, guys, so. But yeah. So you guys got any questions before I get off of here? I'm gonna probably pop off here in a minute. Mighty Mouse, what's up? Kim. Kim, you know, you kind of hit on the point there that, you know, we always got to be concerned, especially about the Cascadia subduction zone, because if that one does, and it's not if, it's actually a matter of when. Hopefully, none of us see it or our kids or anything like that. But if that thing does, the Cascadia subduction zone slips, the whole West Coast gets redefined, along with a lot of other things. Okay, so I'll tell you what we'll do, because that was asked, we will go look at that real quick. Some people don't know where that's at, because they're not familiar with this information. That's why I'm going to show it, okay? This up here off the coast of Washington and off the coast of southwest Canada, Oregon, Northern California, this area here is what they call the Cascadia subduction zone. When this finally goes ahead and shifts, there will literally be oceanfront property in Arizona. Okay? It will cause a tsunami that we've never seen in our lifetime for sure, multiple lifetimes. You know, I'm not sure exactly how far it'll come inland or whatever. It's all theory how far that would come. There's some good evidence to support it. But we know that when this thing does finally go, that the West Coast will be completely reformed. You know, hopefully the Rocky Mountains will keep it from getting too far. But yeah. Thanks, One Word, for asking that. Yeah, my wife, she's feeling a little bit of pain today. After surgery yesterday. In places that she didn't feel it yesterday. So it's kind of, you know, kind of on that kind of an end thing. But so, that's what the Cascadia subduction zone is, and, yeah. So I am going to go ahead and end the video here, guys. I have to go try to help her out a little bit here. I got to get dinner and stuff for the kids and all that kind of stuff, so. I may pop back on later on tonight, but let me say this real quick, too, before we get off of here. I want to, and I know some people will get mad at me for doing this, but you know what? I'm going to support people I support and that I believe in. So, I'm going to show you guys this real quick. He's become a real good friend of mine. He's going to be going on, this is Mark Pyers, Real Talk. Okay? Again, I've talked about this a lot of the time already. He's a musician. He does face swaps. He does celebrity impressions. And he's all about spreading the love and positivity. Never a bad word. The stuff's hysterical. He could play the heck out of that guitar, and he's sitting on that beat seat. He's playing percussion himself on that. He's got a patent on that beat seat. You guys need to look into that, because that thing is cool. Anybody that's a musician. But we've been going over, he streams for 2 to 6 hours every day. I think he's going to change it up today, and he's going to come on earlier. At least that's what he was talking about. Yeah, I said something to him, Hilly. Thank you for pointing that out, though. I think he popped in and said hi for a few minutes. But yeah, so if you guys would, when he goes live, go over here and give him a subscription, like right now, and click the bell so you can come over with us tonight. I'm going to be in the chat. That's, what's that? Can you please call me when you're done the show? I don't know if I can give you a call tonight, Rip. Is it real important? I got to go get my wife. She had surgery yesterday, and I got to get stuff for the kids. I might be able to give you a call a little bit later, if that's okay. Just let me know. Shoot me an email, and I'll go over and look at it and see what we got. If it's real important, obviously I'll call you. But I need to go take care of my kiddos. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to hit share here. And this is just to that video right here I'm showing you. Copy. Paste. Alright. So do me a favor. You just go over there, and give him a subscription. Hit the bell real quick. Check him out tonight. If you don't like it over there, just unsub and, no harm, no foul. But give it a chance. Guys, and I say this a lot. The fact is, I don't get to say positive stuff very often. And when I can point people towards any of that, I'm going to. Hilly, go over there. He does a Bible study every Saturday. A lot of good people over there. He's able to, explain to people what he's trying to get out with his teachings and stuff, and he's able to communicate directly. He will address people in the chat, and they talk. We talk back and forth. So if you don't understand something, he can help you understand it. So it's awesome. It is. And that's why, I point people over to Hilly. It's why I point people over to Mark, because it's all positivity. It is. It's all positive. Everything I talk about, the information itself is pretty negative. Now, I know I try to put a positive spin on it, and I don't try to be gloom and doom, but the fact of the matter is, the stuff I talk about is bad. It's stuff that can affect us in a really bad way. And we have fun here. Don't get me wrong, because we do. I love all you guys. You guys make me laugh every time. And I hope I can do that for you. But if you guys want a true just break from all this crap, come over here to Mark's. I'll put the link to this video in there too. Let's paste that one. He might have dropped his link earlier. He probably did, which is fine. That's what I want. So yeah, guys. Also, Rip, he's got a channel too. Rip Curl, guys, go check him out. He's in here in the chat. He's been making some videos. Go check it out. He does a good job too. So, what I'm going to do, guys, I am going to make a list, and I'm probably going to put it in my description box of all the people that I like to go watch. Okay? And people I support. And that's why, But before we go here, I'm going to show you one more thing. And I want to make a point with what I'm saying here. I might not point you to some of the channels that are on my subscription list. Okay? Because I don't want to point people towards negative stuff, right? Negative people. But that does not mean that you cannot find truth on some of these channels that are not the most positive people to talk to. And so what I'm saying here is I'm subscribed to people over here that you guys would probably be surprised to know. Okay? Oh, where'd my cursor land there? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll keep moving now. You see what I mean? I've been called idiots by people over here that I subscribe to. But I don't unsubscribe because there's still truth on the channels there. Okay? So we'll just leave it at that. But just know that just because you don't like somebody and their attitude and stuff, you don't have to go over there and comment and be part of the conversation. But you can sure as heck go over there and try to find some truth what they're talking about. Because just because they might be mean, hateful people doesn't mean that they aren't speaking some truth. And I'm going to try to find the truth wherever I can find it. So just kind of keep that in mind, guys. But if I won't point you to those channels I think are rude and all that kind of thing. If I were to point you to a channel, it's going to be somebody that's going to be, you know, cordial. That's not going to be a butthead. And it's going to be, you know, giving good information, but at the same time, you know, being a good person all at the same time. So, anyway. Sweet, Mama Tonic. Go over and give him a subscription. You'll love it over there. I'm going to be in the chat when he fires up his live stream tonight. Plays really good music. He does something called the Real Talk Family Jam. And when the room gets pretty full, he'll play the same tune, but then he'll use the chat and just improvise a song on the spot. It's pretty fun. Just saying. Anybody in here that's a subscriber over there is going to say exactly what I'm saying. I guarantee it. Nobody has come back to me and said Mark Pyre sucks. They all love him. So, and I knew they would. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get off here. God bless. Thank you all mods. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for helping me out. My subscribers, thank you so much also. Obviously, I wouldn't be here unless you guys were here. That's just what it is. And God bless. Yahuwah saves, and you can drink